Yeah, I think a couple of calls ago you were talking about Trump's foreign policy with regard to Argentina.
I wouldn't really call giving them $20 billion foreign policy. I mean,
Why?
not exactly.
Why? It seems like a foreign policy move to me.
I mean, kind of, but is it thought out? Is it strategic in any sort of way that serves the country or anything like that? Or was it a bailout for his hedge fund buddies? I think it was just the latter. I mean, like
I feel
that's
like
like
that's
that's
sort
like
of.
saying accepting the plane from Qatar was foreign policy. Like, actually, if you call it foreign policy, then you're
Would you believe
legitimizing
that?
the people that
Would you believe that
criticized
his?
as I was
Would you believe
talking.
that his tariffs then are good because they go against most hedge funds? Because most hedge funds would like for the GDP to rise, to add good, economic growth and stuff like that. I feel like it's a bit of a conspiracy theory because, as
Yeah,
far as I know, there's only.
Some Wall Street people do hate the tariffs. Yeah.
I think it's almost universal that they do not like them because they depress growth. They hurt the stock market in general, unless somebody was
There
like
can be
shorting.
it can hurt the stock market like overall, but if there are people that have investments like strategic investments, it can actually benefit them with respect to tariffs.
Hello?
I just like gave you a sentence. I don't Did you hear me?
Sorry, I went out there for a bit. But yes, tariffs could be a boon to some people who are investing in the stock market, depending on, are they shorting the US? What exactly are they doing? But for most people, for nearly all investors, even those who are aligned with Trump, these would be bad. And then for the Venezuela case specifically, as far as I know, there is one stock market which is associated with one friend of Trump. I think, what's his name? I think you named him. I forgot his name.
Scott Bessent.
Listen?
He's the
Yeah.
Treasury Secretary.
So it's just one connection, which isn't even directly to Trump. Whereas I think there's a much, better explanation for this, to where Malay is extremely pro-America. Argentina is horribly undeveloped compared to its potential. I think his economic policies are great for Argentina. I think they would eventually lead to, more economic development, its GDP growing. And if you have a strong South American economy aligned with the USA, I think that would be worth, infinitely more than just a 20 billion subsidy to making sure that this happens, as opposed to, who was there before, the Peronists, who are, not very friendly to the USA. Their policies, they consistently mismanage the economy over, multiple decades even. And I just feel like it's one of his best moves so far. Like, I disagree with the tariffs, I disagree with a lot of stuff, but this, I really think, is a
The
good
United
thing.
States has $20 billion that they can give to somebody. Why not give it to the farmers that are like, they're literally selling soybeans at a loss. The price of a bushel to sell is at like $9, and to produce it's at 11. So why not give it to the farmers, who are the ones that are directly impacted by his tariff policy?
I don't really see why this is an either or situation. This is the same argument people use whenever they don't like any government program, especially one that's sort
Do
of a
you think that
drop.
Donald Trump will give a bailout to farmers?
So I don't know. I don't think I can predict that, but I think it's
Do you think it's
possible.
likely or unlikely?
I feel like farmers being a pretty big voting bloc and constantly being subsidized by the government, there's tons of corn subsidies and everything. I feel like there's a good
Hmm.
chance of it happening. I don't know how many soybean farmers there are, how diversified farms are with regards to soybean farming, but it's possible that it could be a good political move or not. But I don't have all the statistics. But what I'm saying is, it wouldn't make sense to, axe one program just to give the soybean farmers 20 billion. We don't even know if 20 billion would, cover everything, if it would be too much, too little. I feel like you could just say,
I'm
okay, this
totally
is
fine with giving the farmers half that, but don't give Argentina anything. Don't give
but
other
it seems like you're
countries tens
not
of billions of
arguing.
dollars
I don't think
before
this
we
is a good
take
faith
care of
argument
our.
because it
Why
seems
are
like
you
you're
doing this?
arguing that.
Don't give other countries tens of billions of dollars before we've been able to meet the material needs of people in this country.
But then,
That's
are you against
America
foreign aid?
first. Bailing out Argentina is Argentina first and Scott Bessent's hedge fund friend first, not America first.
This is a conspiracy theory that it's because of the hedge fund friend. I don't think there's any evidence for that. It's one random person who's 20 billion. He's obviously not against, horribly impacting hedge funds with his tariffs and stuff. But what it seems like you're saying, it seems like you're doing a
Except what does he do when Tim Cook gives him a gold bar? He says, "Oh, okay, Apple's exempt from the tariffs that apply to smartphones."
Did he do that? If he
Yes.
did that, I think that's bad. That feels like a more direct. Well, at that point, I feel like it would be more because Apple has, sort of high political capital. People don't want iPhones to cost more. It would cost Trump a lot as opposed to just the gold bar. But that's a much bigger incentive than just a friend of a friend owning a hedge fund that's partially into Argentina. I think it's guaranteed that some of Trump's friends would have connections to people who are invested into Argentina just because it's a big country. Hedge funds are invested in everything. There's definitely some hedge funds that hate this, that hate if Milei doesn't get elected, maybe they're shorting Argentina, which I think a lot are because, when he lost an election, I think Argentina's currency value dropped, which could have enriched some people. I mean, for example, Soros made a lot of money from the UK pound falling in value. So I just don't think this is
Blizzard. Is Argentina the only thing you wanted to talk about?
I just think it was a really bad error on your part.
Okay, we disagree. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
I don't think we disagree. I think you're definitely wrong with, evidence against you.
No, we definitely disagree because I don't have the same opinion that you do. So we definitely disagree.
Well, yes, but your opinion is based on wrong facts, bad facts.
What bad facts?
Well, you believe in this conspiracy theory that because Trump has a friend of a friend who seems to be invested into something in Argentina because of a hedge fund he invests in. This means that this is why he's giving 20 billion to Milei when the very obvious explanation is just that Milei is very pro-America. He's pro-Trump.
The farmers are pro-America. Giving Argentina $20 billion allows Argentina to supplement their soybean sales to China, which they've gone to them. They're going to Brazil too. This actually all started in his first administration. It's been able to, in a way, sort of subsidize Argentina being able to sell to China our product that was taken away by his tariff policy. And meanwhile, the farmers are just sitting there going bankrupt. I would 100 times out of 100 choose to let Argentina go bankrupt and not farmers. 100 times out of 100, I would do that.
What do you mean? You can do both things.
He's not going to do both things, I don't think. But even if you could do both things, this is just him. This is like him being like, "Oh, my greatest accomplishment is that I overcame a heroin addiction." Didn't you give yourself the heroin addiction? How is that an accomplishment? So Trump is this $20 billion bailout is supposedly his great accomplishment for fixing a problem that he sort of created in the first place. So yeah, you could do both, but what I would do is I would never put farmers, or I would hope that a president, I don't really have aspirations to be president, but whatever. I would hope that a president wouldn't enact these just harebrained, stupid policies that put Americans at risk. And then the first thing he does is bail out a different country. I would 100 times out of 100 put us first over them. because I'm America first. In addition to autographed copies of both my books and, of course, Spanky, I'm excited to announce that I now have stickers, tumblers, apparel, and more on my store. Take Spanky, the God-defeating penguin, and can you put that into a logical syllogism, with you wherever you go now.
Sorry you cut out again for a bit, but again,
Interesting.
So the total amount of subsidies all farmers in the USA get, I mean, what order of magnitude would you say it is?
Probably the 11th order.
How many zeros is that? It's like around 9.3
There's no such
billion.
thing as the 11th order of magnitude, unless you're
I
going
thought
to
it would
claim
be
that
like
means
one with
11
11
orders of
zeros.
magnitude. But I gave you
Why
a
would you say-
non-answer because it was a very ridiculous question.
Well, it's related to how much you want spent on the soybean farmers. So it seems like America spends around 8 billion on all farmers' commodity crops each year.
Wow. So the entire country for all farmers gets $8 billion in subsidies. And we gave a country with like what, 1/8 our population or something like that, 2.5 times that.
Yeah, sure.
You think this is a good argument?
Yeah. I think America should be helping democracies. It should be helping promote freedom in the world. I think a lot of US aid was spent well. I think some of it wasn't.
So you're against USAID being gutted?
Partially. I think there were many programs which should have been gutted, but there are some which were, pretty great, promoting democracy.
Do you trust
Not having
okay, you recognize that the government of Argentina is, it's not that great. It's not a very well-oiled machine.
As in the bureaucracy, or?
Yeah, the entire governmental apparatus.
Yeah, I think that's why Milei had such success,
Okay. Do you think there's a lot of corruption in Argentina?
I think, I don't know what the level is right now. But I think, isn't the 20
Do you
billion
think that it's
specifically for
a
currency
problem?
stabilization? I don't think they directly get the 20 billion. It's for the currency stabilization. So what happened is, Milei lost a regional election to a Peronist, which sparked a crisis because investors thought he might lose an election that's coming up. So the value of the Argentinian currency dropped, which, negatively impacted the country. Then Trump promised to subsidize the currency itself with 20 billion American dollars to sort of, as insurance, basically.
Right. They're not going to airdrop $20 billion worth of cash.
Yeah. Just in case it, drops more than is manageable, in order to support Milei's efforts in, democratization, free market reforms, stuff like that, which would lead to a
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't know a lot about economics, but it sounds like that is what we're doing. $20 billion swap line. The U.S. Treasury Department has announced plans to establish a $20 billion currency swap with Argentina's central bank, allowing Argentina to exchange U.S. dollars for Argentinian pesos.
Yeah, do you know what a central bank does generally?
Huh?
Do you know what a central bank does generally?
Not really. And by not really, I mean not at all.
So yeah, one of the main things it does is keep the currency stable. So if you'll remember during COVID, for example, there was a lot of inflation.
Right.
Which
yes. So the U.S. economy is more stable than Argentina. The U.S. dollar is more stable than the Argentinian peso. So we're just exchanging U.S. dollars for pesos.
To their central bank. We aren't sort of just giving, Argentinians money to spend on random stuff. It's basically their currency. They're trying to dollarize, or they were trying to dollarize, but right now I think what they're trying to do is bring the currency, the black market currency level, to the official exchange rate that they had. So for a long time, they had this sort of artificial exchange rate where they said their currency was worth much more than it really was on this sort of, black market, basically. And the point is just to get it to a level where the bank doesn't have to lie, basically, about its value, but to still keep it stable. And what this currency swap is doing is just giving them reserves to be able to achieve this, to keep their currency stable, as opposed to it falling, causing, tons of economic distress in the country, which I think...
What will the United States lose if we don't bail out Argentina?
I think future prospects of an American ally in South America, an economically developed ally.
Why would we lose relationships with them if that happened?
Because if the country's economy goes into, the shitter, the Malay could lose his election to Peronists who don't like the U.S. government, who implement, destructive economic policies. I mean, look at Japan, for example. At the end of World War II, you had economic issues in the USA. Japan was destroyed, but the administration thought, in the future, Japan, it's got great human capital, it's a big country. If we help them, they're eventually going to become super developed. They're going to become a great ally. And then what happened? Exactly that happened. Like in the 60s, 70s, 80s, everybody was importing, Nintendo consoles. You had other Japanese companies. I don't want to... I forgot which are Japanese, which are Korean, but the same happened to Korea. You had Sony, you had PlayStation, you had cars from there, you had computers coming in from there. And it was hundreds of times... the return was hundreds of times what was spent. And I feel like this shows that investing in prospective allies, especially helping them economically develop, is a great foreign policy move. Same thing happened when the USSR was collapsing, when Europe was destroyed at the end of World War II.
Blizzard, can I interrupt you?
Yeah?
I'm going to die of boredom if this continues.
Yeah, but I just feel like it's like you don't know a lot of economics and you're ascribing some very bad motivations to Trump here, whereas there's a very
I think I think the motivations are just pretty glaring. And the only response
stupid.
you've had to any of it is, well, why not do both? Well, they're not doing both. And
so what then?
Okay, American farmers are going bankrupt. So what? You're right.
Do something else
I'm not
well.
arguing
So
in
what?
bad faith.
Exciting news, I will be at DebateCon in Nashville this November. If you're in the area, click the link in the description to get your tickets.
No, you're the one. You're trying to argue he's doing this, but he should be doing this. And I said, okay, how's that an argument if he can do both? I'm saying that he should be doing this, and you're saying, well, he should be doing this. Sure, but I'm just arguing that the first thing is also good.
Good for who? I think it's the
America.
only thing he cares about is that it's good for his hedge fund bros.
That's a conspiracy theory. There's just one random person who...
Great. This is a guy that literally takes hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars in foreign gifts from other countries. So the precedent has been set.
But the difference there is he's not... there's no connection there. It's just a friend of a friend. You could always find somebody...
A friend of a
who's
friend
invested
is a
in growth.
connection. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can find a bunch of friends who are, hurt by this decision. So what?
No, you can't.
You're basically saying
not in this
there's
example.
Sort of... Sorry?
No, I can't think of a single person that's hurt in this example that is connected to Trump, except the farmers that voted for him.
Because you're not looking at, propaganda outlets that you're looking at right now to find like random people who are sort of associated with some... Like, do you think nobody in this circle was hurt by the tariffs?
In his personal circle? Yeah, I really doubt it.
Yeah.
I can't think of any. People that were going to be hurt by it gave him gold bars, and then they weren't hurt by it.
What?
People that were going to be affected by it gave him gold bars, and then they weren't affected by it.
This is, again, a bit of a conspiracy theory.
It's not a conspiracy. It was televised.
Which one?
He invited all kinds of tech people to the White House, and they gave him gifts. Tim Cook specifically gave him a gold bar. I don't know what gifts were bestowed upon him by the others, but
like an actual gold bar, like a $400,000 gold.
I don't know
I
how
don't think
much it was
that's
worth. I could look it up for
no.
you.
I don't think. I think that's specifically like against the law to accept such gifts, even for
I
the
know,
president. I
but he
feel like if
does
you
it
Google it,
all the time. Do you know how much money
well,
he raked in from his meme
could you
coin?
Google it? Could you Google it
$350
just to make?
million from his meme coin, which was a
That's
scam.
not a government thing.
It doesn't have to be a government thing.
This is a.
The
We're arguing
president
about a
can't take
government thing.
emoluments from anybody.
Could you Google this and see exactly what the
I don't
worth
need to
of the
Google the
tip?
emoluments clause. I know it.
No. How much Tim Cook actually gave him? Because I
If
feel
he
like
gave
you're
him
way
$1,
overestimating it.
then he broke the law.
Then he didn't. Google it.
He gave him, okay, yeah, no, he didn't give him $1. He gave him gold.
Google it, please. I want to know. I'm genuinely curious here.
A 24-carat gift to President Trump. Come on, show the actual. They showed it for like a brief second. Yeah, there it is. A fucking huge, enormous lump of gold that he gave to
Did you
him.
check the article if it's giving it to Trump as a person or as the president, where he can't take it with him?
What? So you think that this gold bar is going to go into the Trump's library and then that makes it all okay?
Like his government library or a personal library?
Do you know about how every president gets their own library? That's like literally, it's like, I don't know if it's in the,
So
it's not in the
government one, he wouldn't own
Constitution,
it.
but it's like it
wouldn't be his
it's
money, basically.
law.
It wouldn't be his money, basically. I think the same is with the jet. It's a government jet now. It's a government award now, you know.
That's a cute workaround that they use to
Are you
do
joking?
legal corruption, but yeah.
Do you think he's going to keep the jet after he leaves the office?
No, but is the jet a personal gift to him? Yes.
How is it a personal gift to him if
Is
doesn't
he
even get to
flying
keep
in it?
What do you mean then? Is Air Force One a personal jet from the government, from the U.S. government to him?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, we subsidize his housing and his travel with taxpayer dollars. The people that he represents pay for those things for him.
So the future president, let's say Kamala gets elected next. The
Yeah, if
Saudi
she takes
jet-
foreign money,
the
I will
money
call
jet-
for her impeachment or foreign gifts.
No, she would get, because it's a government jet, she would fly in it. It would be a gift to her as well. Trump doesn't get to keep any of this.
They're giving
it's not
him
more like
luxuries to
luxurious
use
or-
while he's in
Him,
office.
Not him.
Yes, him. Who's
It's a
going to be
government
flying
thing.
in the plane?
Every future president,
No.
future age, future everybody.
No, the plane goes
Yes.
into the Donald Trump library afterwards. Or it goes to, I don't know if it
They
goes to
put a
his
plane in the
library or what it
library.
goes to, but
What are you talking about?
Jesus
It would be a
Christ,
functional
kid.
plane. Anyway, okay, conspiracy theory aside, you also implied that Venezuela, Cuba are bad because of some sort of U.S. embargo.
Yes, obviously.
I don't think it's... I think if you asked any economies, they would say... Hello?
Yeah, I'm muting you because I was looking something up. Upon President Trump's departure from office, the plan is for the aircraft to be transferred to the Donald J. Trump Presidential Library Foundation. So no, Kamala Harris does not get to fly on the Qatar plane.
Possibly, I
Oh,
guess.
by the
It was
way,
still-
Qatar was just granted level 5 NATO protection or whatever illegally by Donald Trump. What do you think that has to do with? Do you think that has to do with anything?
I don't know the political situation. I feel like just him flying around...
Kid, what
zipping-
you don't know could fill a book.